Hello there. Welcome back to Thriving Generation with Dr. G. It's another exciting day and a good day to thrive. Today I have with me a thriving sister. I am so excited to have Dr. G. Hey Kwan with us. She is doing very well in her area. She has come very far in her career, and I think it's a good day for us to learn from her. Dr. Kwan, welcome to Thriving Generation.
Thank you, Dr. G. Hi, everyone.
Hi, could you please introduce yourself to the Thriving Generation, giving us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So my name is Ji-Hae Kwon. I work at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. I work as an associate director for survey research at USC Race and Equity Center. So in our center, I work with other analysts regarding survey development and creating survey report and analyzing survey data. And there are also a few different research projects that I'm working on. So a few times in a year, we go to conference and present our survey result based on data analysis. And we also do some focus group and case study to learn more about how our client utilize our data. The client meaning higher education institution, because they are the one who are participating in our survey. And our survey is about race and equity issues. So those are the brief introduction about me and what I'm doing at USC.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And thank you for coming. I mean, we appreciate you. Dr. Kwan, I want us to talk about your career journey. Okay. You are currently in the United States working as an associate director of a program like a prestigious university like yours. Can you share with us how you started? And did you always have this ambition to become who you are today?
So I started, I would say, I came to United States 2013 to pursue my doctoral degree in Indiana University. That's where I met Dr. G. We became a friend. I remember that we went to a women's conference in university, and then there was a really sad story about a girl in Indiana, and then we cried together, and then she had me a tissue while I was crying, and we became somehow good friends. So anyway, we were both doctoral students at the time, and I was interested in pursuing my career in the field of higher education. So I decided to go abroad. The reason why I chose to come to the United States is that there are so many sort of well-known scholars in my field, particularly. So I wanted to learn from them and work with them. So that's why. And while I was in Indiana, Bloomington, I was working as a research assistant at the research center. And there I worked with the director of the center on various different research projects. So it was really helpful for me to learn how faculty members do their research and what kind of project I can get involved as a doctoral student who do not have many experiences yet. I was focusing the field of financial aid. That includes like student debt issue, how much debt like currently US college student has, what kind of like related issue, what kind of solution we can provide, things like that. So I was working on those areas as my academic interest. And then there are a few different areas that I was also working on, also based on what faculty members' research interests. So I will say it was diverse. So I consider myself as a not necessarily a typical scholar who is usually focusing on one field and they becoming an expert on that field, like very advanced level. But to me, I'm interested in higher education in general. So whenever I get those collaboration sort of requests, then I usually say yes. So there are so many fields that I've been working on that include general education for college kids and admission policies and STEM education and college peer education and diversity and equity issues. So there are so many things and I like in their way. And then for my career, maybe in my third or fourth year, I was thinking about what I really want to be. And I knew that I wasn't very interested in becoming a faculty member. I was considering myself more like a practitioner and researcher, not necessarily just typical scholar focusing on a particular area for their like long time, if not the entire their lifetime. So I decided to become a data analyst working at university because I love to work at university. So I got a job in the Northern Kentucky University as an institutional research analyst.
Okay.
There, I work with many different analysts, and my main role was assisting the Division of Student Affairs. So there are a lot of different services unit that include Greek life support services, Black African American Student Initiative, Latino student support, and also support for sexual violence and domestic violence survivor, things like that. So whenever they need some survey or they need some data analysis, they need a report, I'm the one who provide those assistance.
Okay.
So it was very beneficial for me because I was able to learn so many different services across the division. And I was able to have a chance to work with different student affairs professionals, which I haven't have any chance to work with them before I start that position. So I worked there about 3 years, and after 2.5 years, I felt like I was fully adjusted. And even though I liked my job, I wanted more, something new, and also I want more growth in my career. And I wanted to focus more on race and equity issue particularly. So the diversity equity issue is a very critical issue. And I was able to do some of it because I expressed my interest to my supervisors, like director of institutional research. And so what I did was that providing like training to our department, even though I wasn't necessarily expert, but I was interested in, and that way we can have more conversation about diversity and equity issue, what we need to do as a data analyst in a university. So that's why I decided to apply a new job that is more close to diversity issue. And I was interested in going to a sort of larger university and larger city because I think that way I can have more diverse experiences. So I found my current position at University of Southern California and race and equity issue. As name indicate, we are focusing race and equity issues. So that's how I became the associate director of survey research here. And there was a summary of my journey from my doctoral program to my current position.
That is great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, people get into doctoral program and they think their only option is to become a faculty member in an institution, but it's nice to know that you decided to go a different route and you're enjoying your position. Can you share with us some of the challenges you've encountered so far in terms of going this career path? And then, of course, when you are there, you can talk about the success as well.
Sure. The challenge is that maybe it's related to myself, maybe my confidence level, and that includes language and cultural differences. Okay. I think anybody who are from other countries staying in US probably have some barrier, language and culture. So I feel like when I was a doctoral student, most of the time, I always think that my English is not good enough. Okay. And I don't know so many things about US, even though I lived there like 4, 5, 6 years, I still feel like there are so many things I don't know. So that's why it's kind of hard to have a lot of conversation with American people. I think that's actually that's kind of true, but I think my confidence, my insecurity is more bigger issue. Because if I were more confident, I really didn't think too much about what I don't have. I probably focusing on what I already have, what I can offer as an international student who have a different background. Yes. And my English, it's good enough to write a dissertation. And
we can hear everything.
Doctorate degree. So yeah, and that's something I should deal with. I think I'm still working on it because I do think my English is it's good. It's been like progressing so well over the last 8 years. But still, sometimes I feel insecure. I feel insecure when I have a conversation with it, just randomly pops up. So that's something that I had. And what I did to overcome that is that commit some time to advance my English. So I still work with a tutor that I hire for my writing. And when I have a presentation, when I have something important meeting, I try to spend time in advance to practice that so that I'm more comfortable, confident, and more accurate when I have those important meetings. So those are the one challenges. And other challenges after I became a professional in a university is that maybe it can be like being different because the university, the Northern Kentucky University is predominantly white institution, and that includes both student, faculty, staff, not just student. So it can be quite lonely working at where my colleagues are mostly white, and most of them are from Kentucky, Ohio, nearby. So they kind of spend their entire life there while I was only staying there 2 to 3 years. So feel like they are very nice people, but still there is some loneliness and feeling different. And it's I'm a little bit introvert. So it's kind of hard to reach out to them like before they initiate conversation. So those are the challenges for me as an international staff and also woman of color. I think those are the challenges that likely to have not just maybe not in the past, maybe kind of partially currently as well. While I have a good friend at work, but still those loneliness or feeling different because I'm from different countries. So those are the main challenges that I think I have experienced so far.
That's good to know. It's I'm pretty sure others could be able to relate to this. You are not alone in that boat. Feeling different is a big thing. But what are some of the successes that you've enjoyed as being an international scholar and now a professional?
The success, what I learned about being successful is that as far as I make effort, meaning I commit certain time and I get things done, then I'll be successful. So that's a big important lesson. And I think that's related to diligence, like how consistency, like how much time you can devote maybe every single day. Like even if that's 30 minutes, 1 hour, that's a lot of time if you compile that in a 1 year. And also taking an action, like not just thinking about it, taking an action. Like Dr. G decided to have her own YouTube channel and upload video almost once a week. That's a big commitment. It doesn't look like it, but it's a lot of commitment, like asking people to join and editing video, things like that. So I think that's the key. So in that regard, I feel like when there's something I want to do, but when it's not my responsibility, and it's a little hard to ask, but I was also hesitant, but like I always ask to my supervisor whether I can do this. I can spend more time on this particular area. And I think the one of them is like I said before, it's about diversity and equity thing. So that's not something in my responsibility per se, but I talk about that maybe a year or more to my supervisors. And they were usually supportive, but since we don't have a structure, it's kind of depending on me. Like I should be the one who suggests a structure system, also creating everything from the scratch. So when I did those DEI training with my colleague for our department, I felt really proud because that's probably the first time ever our department have a really deep and honest conversation about diversity, race equity issues. So, and then after that, I applied this job and I was able to share what I've done there to our center. And of course, they really, really liked that story that I'm the one initiated that work, even though it's not required. And I successfully complete the training for our colleagues. So I think that those are the one example that if there's something we want, we should ask either for help or authority or whatever permission, whatever that is, and then just do it. It's probably not perfect, but there's always things we can do regarding our interests. So if you don't have a time, you can do it after work, or you can spend like every 1 hour per week for your maybe second job, whatever that is. So those are the way to sort of see a success for regarding what you want. And then one last thing can be as a researcher working in university. I have been trying to go to a lot of conferences, including presentations. So I feel like so far, maybe I have between 15 to 20 different presentations based on my research. And I also was able to have published 5 different journal articles based on my research project. And those are not necessarily required my sort of professional because I'm not a faculty, but I'm very interested in. So that really, really helpful for my job career. So those are the things are not required, but if you want to be a research analyst or research position, that would be really, really beneficial for you to get a career you want.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it goes right into my next question, which was going to be advice for people. So I don't know if there is anything you would like to add for people seeking to explore in the United States, people who are seeking to thrive in their careers. You've said so many things already. Is there anything else you want to add?
I will say that one thing I can tell is that when I was a doctoral student, I was focusing like interest topic, something can be marketable, not necessarily what I want. So marketable meaning something that I can get a job easily. Okay. So that's why I became doing research on financial aid. But because I don't have a high motivation interest, it was a little hard because sometimes I need to force myself to do a research. And that's never fun. So I feel like it's so beneficial for me to spend time to think about what you really want, what you really can motivate it. Because no matter what topic you will be working on, there's always group community people who wants to work with you. There's always an opportunity. It doesn't have to be a like very trendy hot topic. I wish I knew at that time so that I can just spend my doctoral program journey more fun. Because sometimes it was a little hard to write. Sometimes I feel like I hate writing. But now I'm focusing on more things that I really like, or I feel more passionate because I really want to contribute more diverse higher education, so that I don't have those resistance regarding writing and working on that. So those are my one advice.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. It's been a great time. I appreciate you. We appreciate your time. And we are cheering you on in your career, in all your endeavors. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Kwan.
Thank you, Dr. G.
So Thriving Generation, we heard from Dr. Kwan. She's giving us some tips how we can thrive in other areas aside being a faculty in an institution. So do you have questions for her? Please put that in the comments below. I will also put some links to how you can view some of her research works and follow her and see what she's doing around as well. So please, if you have any questions, leave them here. If you have comments, leave them here. If you enjoyed our video, please like them and share with others as well. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.